Welcome everybody to Azure Podcast. This is our first episode. This is Kazu from Runaround Network, also known as Infinitum Master Reika Fujishima, founder and master of Azure Infinitum. Thank you for joining me. Mike Siegfried is here with us today. He is here to talk with me about what is going on in Azure Infinitum this month. We are halfway through June 2019, ready to experience Shadowbringers 5.0 expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. Are you excited, Sieg?
Yes.
Yes, we are just like counting down the days. Both very excited. I think everybody's really excited. We can see the excitement building. There's so much going on. We have events every week. Every weekend, and I mean, just right now where we're at, it is June 19th, almost June 20th as we're recording this at night.
Yeah.
We are in the middle of Azure's event finale week. That means that every day this week we are having finale type versions, trying to make the most out of every event. So far we had a pretty nice Eureka weekly meetup on Tuesday. That went pretty well. We saw parties for several zones, as usual. The Hiatus group, we tried our best. We had a, I was in charge of that one. That one was basically, we got a bad zone that was mostly dead, mostly dying. We stayed in, we tried to make the most of it. We got a few NMs in, then we swapped to another zone, got to a zone that we thought was going to be really good. Then we found out it was kind of an overflow zone because everybody was like, hey, Providence Watcher's up in the main instance, and then I was like, hey guys, what do you think the chances are that we can get in the main instance? And they're like, I don't know about taking 6 people into the main instance when everybody else just ditched the zone, and are like, all right, we'll go ahead and just work with the NMs we got here, and we popped a few, and by that time it was time. And as far as I know, the rest of the group actually, I had to leave, but the rest of the group, they kept going for a long time. I took a look in Discord and saw those guys in there just plowing away at Hiatus for another couple hours after it ended. See, you had you were with the Pyros group, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It was actually I was in it. It was actually Lieutenant Defensor who ran that one.
Yep.
We actually ended up spawning quite a few NMs. We worked separate from the train in there, but we weren't working against the train. We just went and usually went and spawned some of the easier guys, while they were working on the harder ones. So they'd come and take a break, come kill the ones that we spawned, and then go back to it. But we had a really productive day in there.
Yeah, it sounded like it. I mean, a lot of us were just hanging out in the same channels, but we could hear some of your guys' excitement and popping NMs, getting some light, getting some crystals. And then we were over in Hiatus trying to survive, trying to make the most of it. But I think everybody had a pretty good time. Mizu was with the Pagos group as well. I believe they got some progress done too. Yeah. So overall, we had a nice little finale to our Eureka Weekly meetup, a part of our 16-month-long Eureka project. Holy crap! Can you believe it's been that long, Sieg?
No.
Yeah, 16
I kind of
months.
lose track of time.
16 months. 16 months ago, we started what we called Azure Eureka Expedition. That was our goal to invade Animos with as many Azure people as possible. I think our highest was around 50 people that we went in with.
Yeah.
It was huge at first couple weeks, first couple months. We had a lot of Animos progression at the beginning. It was really great to be able to get in there and see so many Azure members just hitting those NMs, working together. The first couple weeks, I mean, the first couple times we tried it, there was a little bit of a learning curve, like there is with anything Eureka related. And
that was new for everybody.
We were all new, seeing what it was like for the first time. In Eureka, you don't really know what to expect when you're starting it out. So we found out pretty quick, and then some really awesome members and council members alike worked together to figure out the NM thing. And eventually, it was Azure popping NMs for the zone and for each other, or coming in and assisting whatever train was going. And it was just a really good time. Yep. And then we hit Pagos, and we went from there. We did everything we could, and then we got to the point of designing Eureka Weekly Meetup, just so that way we could have a meetup that provided potential parties instead of promised, because we don't always know who's going to show up for what zone, right?
Yep.
So I think we did a pretty good job. We see a lot of folks who've had a lot of progress. A lot of people have given feedback saying, "Hey, your event helped me a lot." Folks that have left the FC, folks that have joined the FC, longtime members alike. Everybody's made awesome progress, and we're happy. We're really happy about that. We're having a nice relic screenshot for everybody who does own relics of any stage. Can come to the Royal Menagerie screenshot happening on this Sunday. I do not have the time in front of me that's happening, but I can find it here in a second. Basically, during Azure Day weekend, the Sunday, that is this coming Sunday, the 23rd, we are all grouping up for a gigantic Royal Menagerie screenshot as part of our End of an Era events that celebrate the end of
5 p.m.
Stormblood. Yes, thank you. There it is, 5 p.m. 5 p.m., come down to Royal Menagerie. We are going to have a big screenshot of everybody that we can possibly get, stuffing as many Azure Souls into that nice little area as we can, try to get a blue sky. Make a real nice photo there, and then right after that, right as we get the good photos there, everybody has enough time to get their own too. We will just have the relic. We'll have other people step aside and have relic holders of any, like I said, of any stage, there to just show their relics off and. And just say like, hey, we got a shot of everybody who did participate or got some sort of benefit out of being in Azure and being here during our Eureka Weekly Meetup event. And I just think it's awesome because I already have seen a lot, and the feedback we've gotten was really good. That's what helped us, grow the event and make it better. And we're just glad to see that work out. Monstrous Mondays has gone really strong for a long time. Wondrous Wednesdays, the last Wondrous Wednesdays for now happened today. We heard good things. We had a couple groups. Really nice.
I was gone today, so I didn't get to. See,
Wednesdays are usually a day that I don't have a lot of time either. But we heard good things, and we had some good scout support too. Real good scout support today. So we are very thankful to them. Then tomorrow, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's the last Stormblood map day, the last Treasure Thursdays of the Stormblood era. How do you feel about that, Sieg?
Well, I hope we get some really cool loot.
Yeah, well, I always hope we get cool loot, but I mean, the last Stormblood, the last Time-Worn Gazellskin map party. I mean, sure, we could make another Gazellskin map party in the future, but we're gonna be really into those new maps. I mean, we've got
I'm gonna miss Rainbow Dumbo.
Yeah. There's the dungeons of, I believe it's pronounced Dungeons of Lygia. Lygia is the next instance for Time-Worn, who knows what they're called, Time-Worn maps in 5.0. Dungeons of Lygia come out on, I believe it's the 30th or the 20th. I don't remember the exact day that they come out, but they're coming out at the end of July, which means the first Thursday on the map is August 1st. So August 1st is the return of Treasure Thursdays 5.0.
Awesome.
Yep. Also returning is sorry, what's that?
I wonder who our Rainbow Savior will be.
Yeah, I really wonder that too. Are they gonna show us something super new, like a whole new mechanic? Are they gonna bring another type of Rainbow Save type thing like they've been kind of doing? Will Rainbow Dumbo himself return? That is our name for the elephant overlord of the canals who saves us when, we're about to get kicked out of maps.
I hope it's Trolly again.
Yeah, it's going to be Trolly. It's going to be Trolly. What do you guys think, who are listening? You guys think it's going to be Trolly? We hope to see some humor there, like usual in maps, but we know it's going to come.
So I'll just have to add my puns again.
Yep. Yeah, we can make it funny. We'll have to see what we're working with there. Also, another question is, will there be another type of Thieves map, or are Thieves maps going to remain the same? Do we even know if you can swim in 5.0? Have we seen that even? Do we know if there's underwater in 5.0?
Yes.
There is?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I just haven't seen it. But regardless...
I They're in the benchmark.
Yeah?
There's a bit where you're swimming under.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Because I was hoping that that wouldn't just remain an only Stormblood thing. I know a lot of people had different feelings about, there's no underwater mobs. There's nothing really to do underwater unless you're spearfishing or whatever. But
Oh, well, that's what they were doing in the benchmark, so maybe they'll
yeah,
actually update it.
that'd be nice. I mean, so far we've got, skyscraper-sized seaweed and, a little bit of nice scenery. But other than that, it'd be cool if there was a little bit more to do underwater. Even if there's not, I mean, I just feel like having swimming only in Stormblood would be like having flying only in Heavensward. So I just hope that they do something more with that. Plus, we got to have new sneaky riddle locations, for future Azure days. So we are in the middle of event finale week, and tomorrow marks the very final Azure Stormblood era Treasure Thursday. Sorry. Then we have on Friday, Friday the 21st, the final Azure 24-man Fridays Evilise Trilogy run. I can't believe we are at the end. I mean, I know it comes. It always comes. We did the same thing with, in the past with the Void Ark raids, our final Void Ark raid series, and we do the October Old Raid month, or Old Raid October as we call it. It's a tradition in Azure to just go and get clears for lots of folks that didn't get to experience it, or folks that didn't get some of the old minions and orchestrion roles.
The 50s and 60s ones.
Yep. And
maybe see some blue mages in the 50s.
Oh yeah. It's a good opportunity for blue mages, get some action in the old raids. Maybe you didn't go blue mage back then because it didn't exist, and want to see what it's like in the circus tower or whatnot. But end of Evilise, end of an era. I mean, we've done Evilise now for a couple years, starting with the first. I can't believe I'm saying that. A couple years now, starting with just Rabanastre, and then having Rabanastre and Rita Rana Lighthouse. Now the end of us having all three with Orbone at the end. This is the final set of coins that we're going after for 24 more I-400 upgraded pieces for Azure Infinitum to further strengthen our members and help us throw wide the gates of 5.0 and slam that expansion together with this best equipment we could possibly get and have a lot of fun and laughs together.
Warrior of Darkness.
What about the Warrior of Darkness?
The darkest Warrior of Darkness.
The darkest Warrior of Darkness. I don't know. He's some... maybe if you get hit with a Fire 4 or Fire... I wonder if they'll bring Fire 5. What do you think? I don't know. Anyway.
In 6.0.
6.0? Yeah. So, that's what we've got going on right now. And then... Sieg, you want to tell us what happens this weekend?
It is a special send-off Azure Day, where we will be seeing off 4.0 series of Stormblood.
Oh yeah. We have a lot in store. Like I said earlier, Sunday is that whole Goodbye Stormblood Day. Let me just pull up the event here thing again.
Saturday's kind of just a fun games day.
Sieg, tell us what's going on Saturday.
Well, we're starting off with our... we start each day at noon. We don't start super early, and we go into the evening. We're starting off with our regular opening ceremonies, where we will be, getting
opening
in
ceremonies.
touch with everybody. Going over everything that's happening throughout the day, what to look forward to.
A little bit of history on how we started all this.
Yep. Going immediately after that into the recruitment drive at 1 p.m. See how many brand new recruits we can get.
Yeah.
Of course, as always, leave people alone if they're in an FC. You can only chat at people who aren't. Of course.
Yeah, and we like to see those Azure Day recruits, because a lot of times they get great impressions of just the massive morale and activity level that we have here that we love so much.
Yep.
Wait a sec, before we move on, Sieg, you were the first recruit of the first Azure Day's recruitment drive on the first Azure Day.
Yes. I always laugh about that. That's just
Almost
one of
can't
those
even believe
weird
it, but like,
coincidences.
I know, right? Can you believe that? It's like, here's our first, our first Azure Day was actually like a couple hour event, and it wasn't really official, and it happened on a Wednesday, and they were originally designed to actually happen every Wednesday. Can you imagine that if we did this every Wednesday?
Which would have gotten a bit much.
Oh yeah. I mean, originally Azure Day was like one or two events, and so it was like
Yep.
a little bit of recruiting. It was like a recruitment contest, or a recruitment drive, as we like to call it now. It was a contest, recruitment drive with like an auction and some raffles or something. And it was set up by a member originally who had the idea, and then
Eventually added Glamour was one of the first ones
yes, yeah,
to add to it.
glamour contest, and it turned into such a big thing and such a big official FC celebration, and it was one day for a very long time, and then we got to the point where we just didn't have enough time in a day because we would just spend the entire day doing
Yeah.
events from noon to midnight or 11 to past 3 a.m. in the morning, and it just got so fun, so exciting that we had to start doing a second day. We had to, and that's always been really, really popular. Azure Day is such a big time for celebrating the FC, and we one time a year is just not enough. So we got we got quarterly celebrations, and
Yeah.
but the recruitment drive. I'll let you continue, but I had to say that because we might have some viewers, or I mean listeners who may have not known that fact. Very interesting fact. We almost didn't get Siegfried if we didn't have Azure Day. What do you know? What do you what do you know?
It's possible because I mean it was just it was Gareth Greywood who
Yeah,
came up and tapped me on the shoulder and
who's
he was
still
like,
here
"Hey,
today. Wow, it's been
yeah, just,
4 years.
would you like to join a free company?" And I didn't even know what he was talking about because I came from other MMOs where everything was called
Right.
a guild or something.
And you were
So it's
like
like,
seconds of logging in for the first time, right?
yeah,
Like just mere
yeah,
minutes away from getting to the point where you could actually see other players after the
yep,
initial quest to start the game, and then all of a sudden, hey, join Azure.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, would you
amazing.
like to join a free company?" I'm like, "What's a free company?"
Yeah, that's amazing. So what comes after the recruitment drive, Seek?
Alrighty. So recruitment drive is of course self-explanatory. People will group up into a party. You'll be given the rules. Like I said earlier, the big rule is no talking to anybody who's in a free company already.
Yes,
That is,
please. We do not believe in poaching.
and the best recruiter wins. There are a couple of prizes
Well,
usually first, second, and third.
just say real quick, like essentially, like they get a point when they recruit, right? So
Yeah,
so the amount of the you need more points to gain, first and second, third place. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then we are following up the recruitment drive, which lasts an hour, with the Azure Day Parade.
Woo! That one's always fun.
Yeah. Will it be mounted or walking?
We most likely do walking.
Okay. So we have two types of parades that we do here, guys, and this one will be walking, but sometimes we do mounted as well. And even if we did do mounted, it would be walking mounted. So we will be walking throughout Eorzea as a free company, doing shouts and having fun and whatnot.
Yep. Big old Azure Day march.
Big long line of blue.
As much blue as we can possibly have. And what's really interesting about that one is a lot of people end up seeing that, and it's like something they've never seen before. That alone has gotten people to join.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right after that, we actually have our glamour contest, which I had mentioned a little bit about earlier, as being one of the very first events we had actually added into Azure Days. It passed. The glamour contest has two sections to it. Just a straight up, entering a suit with very little to it. Come dressed up as your whatever you like. And then we also have a skit form in the Glamour contest. Now, the skit bits are up to 30 seconds, I believe. You really don't want to last too much longer than that. And we've had tons of great showings in the past, such as, Dante showing up from Devil May Cry. We've had the Doom Slayer from the Doom series.
Many links from Zelda.
Yeah, many from Zelda.
Overwatch.
Yeah. It's high noon.
Some Sailor Scouts and
it's awesome, guys. I suggest, honestly, I suggest entering. Just have fun with it. If not nothing else, come and watch. Fun. It's awesome.
Coming just to watch too. If you really don't want to enter, coming to watch is also great. Support your fellow members. Or sometimes it takes a little bit just to, for someone to build up the courage. I mean, to get up there, and so just giving them support makes them a lot more comfortable. Stage fright in game is a real thing. It is.
Yep.
It is actually a real thing. So come support them as they show off, and maybe bring some good laughs too. A lot of times there's just some of the skits that we have are just fantastic. We have really so many creative people.
I goof off to kind of get over stage fright.
Yeah. So coming up after that,
who wants to be a gillionaire?
Who wants to be a gillionaire?
That may sound a bit of a kind of a ripoff, but
no.
It's super fun, guys. We get right into it. The upstairs will be changed into a kind of like the arena that you
top
see
floor of the FC hall.
Yeah, top floor of the FC hall. Sorry.
Yeah.
It'll be all done up just like the show. There will be, a random off to find out who actually gets the middle seat. We even changed the lights and the music for as things go.
Yep.
So
it's quite a show.
Yes, it is. Always come and watch this stuff, guys. Like even if you don't get in, not everybody can get in, but always come and watch.
I mean, all of the questions as well that are given to the contestants. I mean, everybody can see it. So as long as you don't, as long as you don't blurt out an answer, you can still have fun trying to guess the trivia to yourself as well, even if you don't make it in. But we have enough to do a few rounds, so there's a good chance that we will have several contestants.
By all means, make parties with your friends and where you guys can discuss answers and stuff like that yourselves.
And let's not forget there is audience. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was just saying about they can make parties with their friends so that they can talk amongst each other. That way, the shouting out answers won't be out where people can see them.
And don't forget, there's audience participation too. So there are actually lifelines, just like in the real show that it's totally not named after. And those lifelines, a couple of them do have audience participation, so keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. And following that, we actually have our commemorative screenshot, which is just not just a regular any old screenshot. However, it's not following the Sunday's theme of saying goodbye to Stormblood, where we all just get together, another giant sea of blue. This one will be on the beach as regular, right?
Yeah, this will be our regular location in Mist of our ward, down by one of those large rocks that's kind of in the middle-ish area of the beach. We just like to get down there and have a wait for a nice blue sky, which comes pretty commonly in Mist, and group up there for a shot that commemorates this June's Azure Day and this time frame's roster.
Yep. And following that, we have for the first time ever, we used to do macro concerts and stuff like that, and they actually were pretty neat.
Macro concerts or like open mic type stuff.
Yep. we're switching it up because of the Bard performances and coming out with Bard Night, where people will be
Bard
able to come
Night.
up on stage and play their music.
Yep.
I can't wait to see what actually,
Yeah, there's like several people who I see who are just playing really creative stuff all the time and really good at it. So part of the I think I mentioned this to Sieg during the time we were crafting Azure Days schedule, was it'll actually be kind of exciting to just sit back and see what gets played next, just kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, I have, just be surprised by, like, oh yeah, I have no idea what they're going to play next, and then bam, like they play something and just blows your mind, like, oh wow, so neat to hear in that style, so that's
Yeah.
going to be fun.
And for the end of the night, we have our, very, very, what's the word I'm thinking of? 18 plus event.
Yes.
Cards Against Humanity. However, we are doing a Final Fantasy XIV version.
Yes, we
where
are.
we are trying to put in as many Final Fantasy XIV cards as we can.
Yep.
Oh my. Cards Against Humanity, I'm not going to explain it to everybody because that would, those who know it, it's a pretty fun night. And there's a lot of things going on that are said in the Mature Lounge that can't be repeated elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And people always make me say really ridiculous things in there. And it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
hey, you got to read that out. And it's
they
like,
mess with you so much. They're just, you got to read it.
I hate you all.
Well, I think you might not be the only one getting messed with this time, because somebody else uses a mic now and has already been told by several people that they're like, you're reading your own cards this time, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, there's like just my own personal thing. Is there some things I won't say, but we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be fun. I'll be attending that for sure. I think we both will. So, well, that's the rundown on Saturday, June 22nd. Thank you, Sieg. And Sunday, we go over Sunday. Sunday, June 23rd. This coming Sunday, we have starting at noon. We will be just doing kind of a not really an opening ceremonies because we do that on Saturday, but we're doing a day 2 gathering and giveaway. Little just get together for an hour as folks kind of gather for what's coming up next, which is our Heaven on High race, known as Rising Racing Raiders. But we're going to start the day just kind of getting together, gathering for the next event, and then doing some type giveaway flash raffles. If you're new to Azure, flash raffles are a little kind of a slash random roll giveaway. A whole bunch of people pick a number. Usually it's done in person, so we can do random numbers, but sometimes it might be done in an area, so it'll be done in chat sometimes too, or in the FC chat as well. Just got to keep an eye out for it. A lot of it's done before and after events, or in the middle of the parade when we make little stops. So the little bit of gathering giveaways there. 1 p.m. Rising Racing Raiders Heaven on High race. We've only done this one other time. Normally we have a POTD, Palace of the Dead race, where folks will go in several parties at a time. At one time, they have an hour to get as far as they can in the deep dungeon. Excuse me. And it's a good time. So Rising Racing Raiders is just the Heaven on High version of that. So this day, Sunday, we let a lot of people know over meetings and at other places that this is the day that we have chosen for this final Stormblood era Azure Day to have a lot of Stormblood related stuff. So we know that a lot of you don't have the content all the way to Stormblood. We have recruits lately who just joined the game. We've got folks who are on their way up. Every time that we have an Azure Day, we always take in mind where people are at, and there is a very large percentage of the community that is caught up in the most latest content possible, which is why our weekly event schedule mostly caters to what folks need on a weekly basis, because you don't need things on a weekly basis until you actually get to the end game. So with Azure Day, we try to keep it as open as possible, things that everybody can join. But this time, we asked for understanding that just for this time, the second day of Azure Day Weekend is going to be a very Stormblood heavy day. So if you're really close to getting into Stormblood, you got a couple days to really like storm the expansion and get into Stormblood. Is a terrible pun. And I already hear the collective like face palms of across the nation, across the world. After this from that, but go ahead and try. You can try to get there. You will have to be pretty much finished with it though to get through most of the events we have set up. But this is the chance for our community to do what we do as a tradition every 2 years. We only do this every 2 years, where we have several events on an Azure Day dedicated as a we call them our end of an era events. You can also see it end of an era listed a couple times there on the program. But generally, day 2 is that Sunday, June 23rd, is really our end of an era day for Stormblood. It's really nostalgic. A lot of people will remember these days. Like a lot of people remember our Heavensward end of an era time. We did such a big like parade around Idleshire and giveaways and screenshots, and we the place that's called the Hard Place in Idleshire, we actually filled that place to see what we wanted to gather there and see what it would be like to actually see that little tavern like full, which was really neat to see. But like I said, Sunday, just so you all know, it is a Stormblood content only day. I think the entire thing is, right? It looks like it, yeah. Except for the gathering and the giveaways that's at the very beginning. And the gathering is mostly for Rising Racing Raiders, so that's our
any of the flash raffles.
Oh yeah, definitely take part in the flash raffles that you can see in the FC chat. If you're not in the Stormblood areas, there are going to be some flash raffles done at the little end of an era events too.
Oh, the Orchestrion Jeopardy is not.
Yes, thank you. 2 p.m. on the event program. You can find this program, if you're listening, you can find this program in the announcements channel of our Discord. You can find it on our Facebook page. Should have been shared a couple times already in the actual Facebook group as well, which is popular. And like I said, our revamped Facebook page, it's also right there, bam, like as you see it on AzureInfinitum.com. So the event program is right in the middle of the entire program, which is one giant image. You can download it on your phone, tablet, any device, and check that out. You can save it. It's good to keep with you and look over as Azure Day is going. But Azure Orchestrion Jeopardy happening at 2 p.m. June 23rd, Sunday, June 23rd. Azure Orchestrion Jeopardy, brand new event being run, hosted by Frice Taverner, Scout Frice, and Shalindra came up with this event. The two of them. They've worked on it. Frice is hosting it at his house, which is in our ward, which I actually didn't even know he was in our ward until like the other day. And he's been there for a little while. Just down the road from the FC house. Azure Orchestrion Jeopardy is a music trivia style event with music from roughly the 70s and up, which is, they tried to pick stuff that's extremely recognizable, like most people have heard, as well as a special final round, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say what that is, but it's a surprise. So that's really cool. You don't have to compete. If you're not confident in your trivia skills, come on and join the audience. There's tons of seating. He put like a lot of chairs there for folks, a lot of benches. The actual little studio that he set up mimics what Jeopardy actually looks like. So there's even like a board with all these little frames, like picture frames, like a ton of picture frames that they're going to fill in as the game goes. And it just looks really neat. It's going to be really fun. And that's something anybody can attend. So just because it's on Sunday, that's the only time slot that we had for them. But the rest of Sunday is going to be Stormblood only. So following that, we will be gathering at what we call End of an Era Goodbye Stormblood, which is actually Goodbye Stormblood Party. I just didn't actually have the room for party. But End of an Era Goodbye Stormblood. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be gathering... Sieg, did we actually decide on an official location for that one?
Well, we were going to...
kind of going to the Enclave, but...
And well, depending on how many people had it, we were going to also take a look at the garden in Kugane.
Right. The garden area over there. Yeah. Okay. Those are listening. I'm sorry. We haven't made a full-on like decision, but we're thinking of those two. It will be announced though, for sure, when we get there. But you're going to definitely need to be into Stormblood. We really wanted to actually be at that little that nice looking area in the enclave where
Yep.
people can gather. Just see, we might go to both areas. We could go there to get like a nice shot of, you know,
Those who can make it. And
those who can make it, because we want to see that spot. Like, we think it'd be nice to see that spot that overlooks the water, and you can see Doma Castle in the distance, and or the ruins of it, and just see what it's like with a lot of people using it. You never really see anybody there.
Yep.
So if a good chunk of people don't have the enclave, then we'll just, we'll move. But we could probably start gathering there and then see how many can make it. But
Yep.
after that is the big end of an era Royal Menagerie photo, giant screenshot, followed by the unlisted. Just after that is the unlisted relic holder screenshot, which will just be the same at the same event. Then 6 p.m. we've got Need for Speeds, Stormblood, Beat the Clock Challenge. Stormblood Beat the Clock Challenge version of Need for Speeds is our classic Need for Speeds with a Stormblood twist. That's 3 dungeons people will have to do as fast as they can. I'm not going to say what they are yet. That'll be announced at the event.
Now,
Yep. What's that?
I was just gonna say, just so people know that because this is Stormblood content, it can't be unsynced. So be prepared to do dungeons that you can't unsync for.
Yeah, we're not going to make them the hardest ones. It's one hint. It'll be something that came with 4.0. So.
Yep.
Yeah. And following that is 7 p.m. Dome and Dash, a brand new event that Siegfried came up with.
Coincidentally, I'll be releasing a video of that on Sunday morning, so that people can see what that is all about.
Yeah, it's Dome and Dash. Can we give like a little idea of what kind of event it is?
It is one of our naked races. Or I kind of coined it while I was shooting the video, a near naked race.
Yeah, sort of like what we did with the streaking games, as we used to call it.
Yes.
This one's kind of a variation of that, so we just kind of kept it short with, it's Dome and Dash. It's gonna have something to do with Doma, maybe. And when you see Siegfried's video, Siegfried made a very specific video. That video shows you, well, it's really needed, actually. We really needed it to show folks what they kind of have to do, which we'll reveal when we get there. Like he said, it'll be revealed. Folks who are joining Dome and Dash will check out the video, and then they'll know what, we'll guide them to know what to do, and then we'll do that. We have run test runs of Dome and Dash, and let me just tell you, it was
death.
There's going to be death. Yeah, there's going to be death. There's going to be I can already see someone screaming from being chased by something. It's going to be very entertaining. So it's going to be very entertaining. Following Dome and Dash is Storm Darts. That's our Stormblood edition of darts. We did it once. We tried it once before when we got really eager to try darts in a Stormblood area. Darts stands for diving at random target scenario. That means we fling our bodies at a random target and hope that they land near whatever we decide is the bullseye. This started a long time ago. In early days of Azure Day, when we just did regular darts at one location, and that was up at White Brim, right? Yeah, it's White Brim, right?
Yep.
White Brim in Curtis, Central Highlands.
It was really easy for the bonfire at the bottom to aim for the...
Yeah, when you're up on White Brim Tower, like the tower at White Brim, you can go all the way to the top and then look down, and you'll see a fire pit there that's got a little hole, and it looks like a bullseye. And what we would do is we would try to get onto that little roof. It's like a roofed fire, and we get onto that roof as close to the hole as we possibly could get. And then, hardly anybody really ever got in the hole, because you're able to just get like right on top of the ridge of the hole.
Yeah.
Some of you out there probably have dirty minds listening to me talking about that. But anyway, yeah. So you try to get in the hole, and if you do, you score. And most people get really close to it, and we get the prizes, and we ask you don't move once you land. Now we actually have a way where Sieg usually gets on the big red bird, which you can see from really high up, and sometimes we've done them off of the top of the observatory. And when you see like tons of bodies flying off of a tower, and everybody's landing. You hear all these thuds, and it's just raining Azure. It's really entertaining, and it's hilarious at the same time. And we always got great prizes for that. So we're going back to some Stormblood areas to do that and see how that goes. Have some laughs and do a round of Storm Darts. Probably our final round, unless we ever do it in the future. But this is, like I said, this is the celebrating the end of Stormblood, the end of this era, and Azure Day will come to a close at 9 p.m. with closing ceremonies, and that's just our way of meeting up, kind of in the style of a company meeting, just at the top floor, but a lot more relaxed, where we're just talking about what we did over the weekend, how fun it was, what the results of some things were, what's to come, and a little bit of just a little bit of like good wishes for the future, and that's going to close out the final Azure Day weekend of the Stormblood era.
Yeah, and with it being the end of the 4.0 series, there's going to be a lot to chat about.
Oh yeah, well, over at the back at 3 p.m. the Goodbye Stormblood event. Where we talked a lot about, like, deciding where we were going to gather, but people might be wondering what actually goes on during that. So during that 3 p.m. time slot, the Goodbye Stormblood, that's going to be where we tell a lot of stories, and people that want to give speeches. Maybe you want to talk about joining Azure, or you want to talk about how what Stormblood meant, or what characters you liked, or if you like the Stormblood jobs, or story things that surprised you, because everybody's going to be at that point. There shouldn't be any spoilers, I don't think. Just talking about it, but also talking about what the era of the last 2 years have meant to you. I know a lot of people go over their membership in Azure and how this era, we've seen a lot of faces. We've met a lot of faces that we did not know before Stormblood. After Stormblood, we got to know them. A lot of you may be listening, and we are glad to have you. And there's folks who are here since the launch of Stormblood.
Yep. I've said ahoy to a lot of people.
His ahoy is it's alive and kicking. So we are looking to say ahoy to a lot more folks come 5.0.
Yep.
We're almost done here, but I just want to touch on that too, that what we have to look forward to. I mean, we have our we're looking forward to meeting a lot of new people. We're looking forward to capping the roster. It was never a goal in the past, but we're really getting there, and we're preparing to be the most active community. That is the most well-organized, active community that we can possibly be.
Yep.
Not the best that there ever was, just the best we can be, because that's more important than focusing on trying to be the best, because we're not competitive like that, but we do our best. We work in every area we can.
It happens accidentally.
And it happens, and we're happy to have you all with us on this ride. This, as I've said a lot recently, there has never been a better time to be a member of Azure Infinitum, and I stand by that, because this is my favorite generation of members that we've had. And maybe you're a member who's coming back, and you're like, oh, what about me? Well, I mean, that's not talking about one single person. I'm just saying that this era, this generation, the amount of people we have who are helpful, the amount of people who are active and talking, and folks that love the FC, the morale is super high. And I mean, we're not done yet with this month. June's not over yet, but we have gotten to see a lot of June so far. And June and May are usually those months that we often see, a huge drop in the game's activity. But Azure, just like at the end of Heaven's Word, and even more now at the end of Stormblood era, we've hardly seen much of a change in the FC. I mean, we've not only weathered the start of expansions really well, but we're also weathering the end of them too. And I'm really glad that we're so structured and strong that we're able to really just ride out these waves, of beginnings and endings of game content. And we're still strong. People are still excited. People are coming in. We're already seeing all these applications and friends coming back, and old members coming back. People are looking for 5.0 homes, and they're getting excited, and there's just so much of that expansion energy right now, and it's just incredible. Like the feeling's amazing, and we want all of you to be just as hyped as we are and excited about what's to come, what we have going on, Yes. Oh yeah. And so to kick off the launch of Shadowbringers, coming up on the night of the 27th. I like to refer to it like that because it's a lot easier for me to remember. Because it's coming out at 2 a.m., so it feels like the night of the 27th, at least for me. I mean, PST time
Yeah.
zone is 2 a.m. EST it'll be 5 a.m. So 2 a.m. launch. I know I can probably already expect this without even knowing for sure, but a lot of folks are going to be staying up. A lot of people are going to be staying up all over the world,
Yep.
much less in RFC. So we wanted to have a like a launch a Shadowbringers launch party at night of just getting together and playing a bunch of Cards Against Humanity together online and have some laughs, hang out on Discord, because the game's going to be in maintenance that day. Usually it's a 24-hour maintenance, so 8 p.m. guys.
Couple day long maintenance.
Is it 2 days?
Usually for the expansions, it is.
Huh.
Because it should be going down.
Oh, it's going down on it's going down next Tuesday's night, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so it kind of, I mean, it goes down late on the 25th, and then it'll be down all day on the 26th, and then come back on the morning of the 27th. So it feels like 2 days, but it's not a full 48 hours, I don't think, unless it does go down on 2 a.m. on Wednesday. Well, regardless, we're roughly 5 days of active game away from this big change. So I don't know what to tell you about early in the day on Wednesday or Tuesday night, but Thursday night, starting at 8 p.m. PST, 11 p.m. EST, we're going to get together on Discord, hang out for a bit. We encourage folks to, if you want to play other games together, pass the time, go for it and get to know each other, talk.
Make sure you're well read.
But yeah, get ready, get tell your family goodbye for a while. No, I'm just kidding. Get some of those end of the world kits, where you can get as much, get some rations and lock yourself in and get ready to strap in because it's gonna be a ride. And feed your pets like a lot before you disappear in the void of Shadowbringers.
Bye.
Whatever it is, whatever you need to do, hug your grandma, anything, whatever you want to do that and get ready. So, yeah, then we got the expansion. So that's what's left this month in Azure Infinitum. We still have, don't forget, we still have the newest branch, the first ever branch we have ever opened. We are now opening Azure branches for other games, slowly, very slowly. We don't plan to do a whole lot at first, but we've got one open for Monster Hunter World. It's every Saturday at 11 a.m. PST, or wait, it was 11 a.m.? Yeah, 11, 12, 1, 2. 2 p.m. EST, my bad. 2 p.m. EST, 11 a.m. PST. Monster Hunter World Huntathon events, usually done by Zax with Sieg backing up, right, Sieg? Backing him up, and Zax is our official branch leader for Monster Hunter World. So he's in control of putting those events together. With like I said, with Sieg backing it up. Ranks in Azure are universal, as we are making this big network that we're building with the new Azure site coming that has been talked about a few times in different places. That's coming at the end, very, very end of this, as this year ends with the beginning of next year. Now, no official date, but it will be very close to the beginning of the year. Or very close to the end of the year, depending on the progress. But the new Azure site is going to have places for branches, content creators to share their work, lots of ways to get connected with other members, and just a big foundation for us to grow as a community beyond 14 in preparation of the future when 14 maybe, if it does, slow down, but also a way to kind of keep growing outside. So we are doing the Huntathon just before Azure Day begins on June 22nd, this Saturday. So there will be a Huntathon that morning. That start or depending if you're on the West Coast, it'll be morning. If you're on the East Coast, it'll be the afternoon. But there'll be a quick Huntathon just before all the excitement begins in Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
So is there?
And it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be big. There's been a lot of hype, a lot of advertising. And then Azure Eden Tuesdays drops day one on July 16th. So we're going, as usual, we're going to have a team of folks with leaders included, getting familiar as fast as they can the morning of the 16th when that content drops, to be able to lead the party as best as we can with the first 4 Eden raids starting July 16th. That means you will want to get done with the expansion story, Shadowbringers story, as soon as you can before the 15th, because 15th I'm sure it's going to go down for maintenance so that Eden can come out on the following morning. So those will be our first 2 events to return to our weekly lineup. That's Azure Eden Tuesdays on July 16th with Treasure Thursdays 5.0 coming on the 1st of August. And then sometime this year we'll have 24-Man Fridays Dark Apocalypse. Still love the way that sounds. So did you have anything else, Sieg?
No, that's pretty well sums up the next little bit for us here. Just really looking forward to the new expansion. Can't wait to see what changes it brings.
So looking forward to it.
I can't. Some of the, I mean, as with everything, when things change, it's like, are you gonna like it or are you gonna not? What am I gonna say now?
You gonna play a gunbreaker or a dancer? You gotta play dancer. You gotta play dancer because we gotta have a dancing pencil man.
That would be Pencil Man playing as a dancer.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Just in case anybody doesn't know, Pencil Man is related to Siegfried here. And, he's the number 2 hero of justice. Comes out with some very flashy antics and a bit of hardcore thrusting and abs of steel and a pointy hat of doom. No, maybe not. Pointy hat of justice. There we go. He will right the wrongs of all villainy. And yeah, interesting characters we got here. So I'm gonna go ahead and end. We'll go ahead and end here. Thank you for checking out this Azure podcast, the very first episode ever done. It's kind of an Azure infocast. We will be continuing this I can't put a date on it, but I will say it's going to be every couple weeks. It'll be our way of adding a little bit more communication and allowing you, the members of Azure Infinitum, to get a kind of a look into what is coming up in our community, what we've got going on. It's a little bit easier to catch, maybe to listen to, maybe when you're work. Well, you should probably be focusing on working if you're working, but if you're working and you like to listen to podcasts, or you're studying, or you're jogging, or whatever it is you're doing, and you like maybe to just turn on for however long we talked here. I think it's an hour. This is the first ever episode, so we're winging it kind of. But just turn it on, listen. Maybe sometimes listening helps people get to know what's going on better than a gigantic meeting log or a gigantic update in the announcements channel on Discord. Who knows? But this is our way of another form of communication, a way for you to listen and hear, to know what's going on, get hyped. And then in the future, we may even pull members, other leaders, and folks in here to talk about different subjects. So it won't always just be just the schedule. But thank you for listening. If you made it here to the end. If you have made it here to the end, give Siegfried and I a what should they give us to be really funny? Give us an emote of some kind, just so we know you made it to the end.
Oh shoot! Moonlift dance.
What dance?
Moonlift dance.
Moonlift, but not everybody has that. Just give us a bow or a hug or a dote.
The cactar thing. Sabatender.
Senior Sabatender. Yeah. Give us this little Sabatender dance so we know you finished.